The first news before me today is about a sex offender who fatally shot six, then killed himself. This missing poster provided by the Oklahoma Highway Patrol shows 14-year-old Heavy Webster left 16-year-old Brittany Brewer Center and J.C. McFadden, who were reported missing on Monday, May 1, 2023. Hello viewers, I welcome you all today to the Palace Gist TV. It is a network where we bring you amazing and exciting top stories revolving around news, entertainment, and opportunities globally. Are you thinking of getting stories that are amusing and exciting? Then this channel is just right for you. You're also going to get a lot of your favorite celebrities just here. So do well to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get top and timely stories from us to you. Now, let's get to what we have for you today. Authorities discovered the bodies of 7 people later in the day while searching a rural Oklahoma property for the 2 missing teenagers. Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation spokesman Gerald Davidson said the state medical examiner will have to identify the victims, but authorities were no longer searching for the missing teens or a man they may have been with. The teens were reportedly seen traveling with McFadden, who was on the state's sex offender registry. An Oklahoma sex offender who was released from prison early shot his wife, her 3 children, and their 2 friends in the head and then killed himself. Authorities confirmed Wednesday as concerns grew about why he was free as his trial on new sex charges loomed. Okmulgee Police Chief Joe Prentice said that the victims had been shot in the head 1 to 3 times with a 9mm pistol when they were found on Monday near a creek and in a heavily wooded area in rural Oklahoma. The bodies apparently had been moved there from where they were originally killed. The scene staged before Jesse McFadden, a 39-year-old convicted sex offender, killed himself, Prentice said in the first major update on the case. The discovery of the bodies near McFadden's home in Henrietta, a town of about 6,000, about 90 miles east of the Oklahoma City, came on the very day that he was to stand trial on charges that he solicited nude images from another teen while he was in prison for rape. Authorities have declined to release a motive for the shootings, but McFadden had vowed not to return to prison in a series of ominous messages with his young victim. According to screen grabs of the messages forwarded to Koki in Tulsa by the now 23-year-old woman McFadden allegedly groomed from prison, he said he was having success at a marketing job and making great money. His great life was now crumbling, he wrote, because of the soliciting and processing images of child sex abuse charges. Now it's all gone, he texted. I told you I wouldn't go back. This is all on you for continuing this. Finished. A solicitation conviction can mean a 10-year sentence. The pornography charge could mean 20 years behind bars. Prentice declined Wednesday to speculate on whether that is what led to the shooting. Everyone wants to understand why, he said. Normal people can't understand why. People who perpetrate crimes like these are evil, and normal folks like us can't understand why they do it. Authorities began a search after 14-year-old Heavy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer, who were visiting the family over the weekend, were reported missing. Concerns grew when McFadden failed to appear at his long-delayed jury trial. McFadden had been sentenced to 20 years in 2003 for first-degree rape and the sexual assault of a 17-year-old and was freed 3 years early, in part for good behavior, despite facing new charges that he used a contraband cell phone in 2016 to trade new photos with the women, then 16. He was released in 2020 after serving 16 years and 9 months, even though the new charges could send him back to prison for many years if convicted. And they rushed him out of prison. How? Asked Janet Mayo, whose daughter, Holly Guess, 35, and her grandchildren, Riley Elizabeth Holland, 17, Michael James Mayo, 15, and Tiffany Doroguez, 13, were among those killed. Oklahoma feed to protect families, and because of that, my children, my daughter, and my grandchildren are all gone. Mayor said, I have lost my daughter and my grandchildren, and I'm never going to get to see them, never going to get hold of them, and it's killing me. Justin Webster, who said he followed Ivy to join a sleepover at the McFadden home, not knowing anything about the man's past, raised similar concerns about McFadden's release. To get to save some other children, to make a change is what I want to do, Webster told the AP during a tearful interview on Tuesday in Henrietta, expressing a determination to tell Evie's story and her story and get government officials and everybody to start speaking up loud and keeping those pedophiles in jail. There needs to be repercussions and somebody needs to be held accountable. They led a monster house. They did this, Webster said. A spokeswoman for the Oklahoma Department of Corrections did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Wednesday on why McFadden was released despite facing new felony charges. Prosecutors objected to any early release from prison, noting that McFadden had tied a 17-year-old's hands and feet to bedposts, cut her shirt off, and raped her at knife point. At one point, he threatened to use the knife on her if she did not shut up, court records show. The circumstances have alarmed Republican State Rep. Justin Humphrey, who chairs his chamber's Criminal Justice and Corrections Committee. He vowed to determine how a person could commit sex crimes in prison and be released on good behavior, and how McFadden was able to be in contact with minors while on sex offender supervision. Rep. Scott Fitzgatter, who represents the district, Rep. Scott Fitzgatter, who represents the district where the killings occurred, said what happened was absolutely unacceptable and vowed to fix any potential loopholes in the law. Court records show McFadden was charged with the new crimes in 2017 after a relative of the young woman alerted authorities. Set free in October 2020, he was arrested the next month and then released on $25,000 bond pending trial, which was repeatedly delayed in part due to the COVID-19 pandemic. McFadden married Holly Guest in May 2022. What she knew of his record isn't clear. Mayo said the family didn't learn about her son-in-law's criminal history until a few months ago. He lied to my daughter and he convinced her it was all just a huge mistake, said Mayo of Westville. Lee Berlin, a Tulsa-based defense attorney, told the Associated Press on Wednesday that is shocked by what he described as a panoply of errors in the McFadden case. He said they include releasing McFadden from the prison despite serious charges pending against him, as well as low bail for McFadden once he was arrested on the new charges. I'm a sex crimes defense attorney. This is all I do every day. And I'm like, how the hell does that happen? Berlin said. The grim discovery could push the number of people slain in mass killings past 100 for the year, according to a database maintained by the AP and USA Today in a partnership with Northeastern University.